Okay, people, 4/12/2017, 8:29 p.m. Central Time in Southwest lovely Missouri, down to Lake Pomme de Terre. As a matter of fact, what we're looking at here is a satellite view of the downtown area, Sedalia, Missouri 65301. This was our old street. Alright. I wish I had gotten this far along in my understanding of the internet and different this and that things you can use to help yourself before they had built this all over with the Essex. Okay. There's sign out front or the side. I guess that's front. Well, since we're here, I guess we might as well look at it, huh? I guess it's going to zoom. I didn't really want it to zoom, but let me get back to what I was doing. Sorry about that. Now it moved. Okay, it didn't go too far. Now, maybe I'll unzoom that just a peg or two. This was the old Atkins building, and right before I moved, well, when I was in the process of moving, I believe, they were selling some kind of hair products or nails, you know, enhanced personal body enhancements. Let's put it that way. And basically, when our house was here, instead of this parking lot, we could stand there in our door and pretty much just look right into that area. They had big picture window, at least one up front. They might have two. But this is now the Essex, part of the Sedalia downtown dream. Not that again. Now, like I had told you, keep in mind this here's our house. Maybe it didn't mark it for me. Well, ours was 208. So anyway, we've got some, oh, I see, it's the apartments of the Essex complex, or whatever they're calling it. Now, since our house was pretty much there up to the alley, and you can see here, this used to be alley that they had paved over, and they took out the electrical boxes. Probably got buried line. This here section was field only. Okay, an empty lot. So you had our house here, and the empty lot, which we didn't mow or anything. We did, however, mow this part of it over here. Okay. Now, catty corner, like I told you in another video, from our house, which keep in mind is right across from the old Atkins building. You scoot the map. Was the church parking lot. Well, it's still pretty much church parking lot. And yeah, I guess that house is there. I forgot about that house. But then, just catty corner, and it'll say it on this map, St. Patrick's Church. They've got an entrance here, and here's the front. But basically, from our house, It's a little wanky off of catty corner, but pretty much catty corner. Okay? And like I had also mentioned, the senior center. Let me scoot this. There's some scooting again. Our house was right here. No, I see that line now. One of the poles is still there. Maybe that's a pole too. Just hard to look at. Okay. Our house. Empty lot. 3rd Street. Which did have a 4-way stop. I don't know about now. Because I had complained there'd been a number of accidents right there. Alright. To the senior center. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. Okay. Keep in mind there's still the church. Now they're calling this back here senior center. Well, that is senior center. And they're calling this the community center, but that used to be like the Head Start. But the Head Start was in the community center. You see, here's still South Washington Ave. Pardon me. A sup of coffee. St. Patrick's Church. Would it help if I just skinnied it a little? There. Alright. And like I told you before, right across from the church, U.S. Post Office. And this is the front, as you can see. This is their loading dock. A matter of a block and a half-ish, that you could see the back of the post office from our porch, from this house up here where my arrow is, or my cursor. And that's not all. Okay. Here's the Pettis County Jail, as I'd mentioned. You come up this street and there's a stop sign where you would be sitting and looking at the back of the Pettis County Jail. That's their $1 million flop of a jail. And I'd heard it was a flop because it was getting like backed up sewage standing that people were having to wade through it. I don't know, but okay. And I don't know about this career center. Spin. That's a little farther away. Oh, I remember. That's where I got my first picture from the internet. I had them scan it for me. I didn't even have a scanner. Didn't know anything about it. Okay, what else we got here? Used to be, I'm not sure, lumberyard. And across the street, the battery business. Anderson and Holloway, I don't know about that either. I was trying to get a picture of it. And see, here's the sheriff's department. Whoops. As you knew, that if you sat, I think it was my last video. Oh, please don't mess up now. There it goes. Oh, trippy. Like I mentioned before. What are we doing here? Oh, don't start. Now I'm lost. Shay Wynn's a little bit farther down. I was going to try to finish my sentence. If you sat at this stop sign, that's what I was saying in the other video. You see the back of the Pettis County Jail, and behind it, the sheriff's department, or office, like I'd said. And Juby, let me think. I think it was just around the corner. Somehow here. So you see the excuse of not being able to do anything for herself. Oh, that's that little park also across from us. And maybe she did visit it while we were gone. She got used to us going off and leaving her at home. I believe that's a little park. Let me take a closer look. No, it's over here. But they don't have a name on it. That's the Essex with their... Okay, yeah, that's the Essex. You drive through, they'd let people out there. And here's that little park. But see, here would be our house. And she'd have to walk through that field, walk across the street, and there's a little park if she wanted to go there. Because we didn't really say, no, you may not, definitely not go anywhere. That was left pretty open, okay? And I want to give you an example. Let me see. How do I do this? I get directions to, let's say, Whiteman Air Force Base. Where do we shop? Excuse me. It'll load in a sec. 32 miles. No, 32 minutes. 23.2 miles. Well, I kept telling you it was about 20 because that's what I, figured it was. But then C2 in here is Lamont, where we often stop and fuel. We didn't stop at Dresden. There's really not a lot there. But then we come on in here. We didn't use that state park entrance. That's on the west. They call that the Warrensburg Gate. And they have the flags lining the boulevard. We'd cut off and come in this, I believe it's this way. And use the Knobnoster Gate. But that's just to show you, 32 minutes to shop, 32 back. That's over an hour of just driving. And when we hit the commissary and the BX, we bought a lot of stuff and took it home. It wasn't a run in there for a gallon of milk and back out like at Quick Trip. Because that's some travel time, And we had stuff we needed to do at the house. There'd always be laundry. There'd always be dishes. So we get our supply up. And yes, we were stocking the shelves in the basement for not so much SHTF like people do now. Excuse me, as preppers and disaster preppers. And we were just doing it so in case the van broke down like it sometimes would do, like with the brakes that time. We were told when we got them in there to get them changed that they were nothing but powder. They told us they didn't know how we were even alive. It was powder coming out of those where the brakes were supposed to be. Okay, so that was our little trip. Sometimes as often as 2 times a week. Well, if you're a kid in peril and you're 13 years old, almost anybody I would ever know, except for maybe 1 or 2 people. One's family, one's a post office family. Well, post office acquaintances. I knew them long enough to call them sometimes family, but they would be the only couple people who wouldn't really know what to do. And one was severely retarded. Okay. I'll have to come back to this. Thanks for watching.